I'm Coco Lectric. I'm Coco Lectric. I'm known as the mistress of musicality. You know, it's funny. I can't remember when I was introduced to burlesque. I think it was watching the Muppet Show. and I didn't call it burlesque. It wasn't called burlesque, but Miss Piggy always dressed in a very burlesque fashion for the Muppet Show, at least in those days. You know, she wore her long satin gloves and her, strapless, dress. She even had a boa that she would wear sometimes, So I started the Academy of Burlesque in 2008. And the reason I started it was because burlesque was becoming more popular and just people didn't know where to start.
Coco, we call her Mom. She's my burlesque mentor, we call Burly Mom. And she took me under her wing. She's really great at dropping these beautiful little life nuggets. And I don't even think she realizes she does it. But she really talks about and wants to focus on meeting everyone where they are. And if you can meet someone where they are, you can help guide them better than trying to get them to do something that's completely out of their wheelhouse.
I love teaching because people have come to me to learn something, and then, I teach them what I know, but probably my favorite part is when they take that knowledge and find out things for themselves. And I really get to watch them grow as performers, as people. I think just watching people become happier and become more themselves is so rewarding and amazing.
I think that the thing that I really just admired from Coco and then subsequently learned from Coco would be just kindness, and it's just the most important thing in the community is to be kind and to support each other, and that's why this community exists. So she always does. She's always there with a smile. She's there to bring in new performers and help you through the scary hurdles. And she does it with a smile, even if it's like a gritting your teeth kind of smile, like, okay, you could do that.
Burlesque is really near and dear to my heart because I've seen it really change people for the better. And it changed me a lot.
How so?
I didn't start doing burlesque, I guess, like I do now until after I had my son. Before I had my son, I was a fitness model, I was a swimsuit model. And even then I was told frequently that I was too big, too this, too whatever. And, when you hear enough of that, you're like, yeah, okay, so I have this, but, After I had my son, just totally different body. And as a dancer, I was also working with a totally different instrument, I recognize that pregnancy doesn't do that to everyone, but it did it to me. I had to relearn balance. I had to relearn everything. And there was nowhere for me to be a dancer, even if I wanted to be at that point. When I started doing burlesque, I had a place to do that. I also had the opportunity to be a choreographer and a producer and to put on shows. And also, there's something that happens when you think that you are the most hideous person, or that nobody would find you interesting or attractive, or nobody would want to look at you without your clothes on. And then you do it, and the audience is cheering and couldn't give half a shit about your stretch marks or your cellulite. It might shock them for a moment because we don't usually see that, you know? But then after the shock goes away, then they're like, yeah, you know what? I have that. You know, I can, okay, you can do that? Well, then I'm gonna do that. You know, like they see something they didn't think was possible, you know, and every time I start to give myself shit about it, every time I'm like, oh, I really need to go to the gym, or I really need to do this or whatever. You know, I remind myself that every time I get up there in front of people, it changes their minds about how they feel about themselves, too. And I would never, ever think that about somebody else's body. And why should I think that about my own? You know, that's not fair. That's horrible. So I guess it's taught me to treat myself the way I like to treat other people. I like to think that I'm really good to other people. I'm Coco Lectric. I am a burlesque mom to Minnie. I am a biological mom to one. I run the Austin Academy of Burlesque, and I teach classes most days. And when I'm not teaching, I am cooking up yummy food for folks at my partner's restaurant, Mission Dogs. And when I'm not doing either of those things, I'm probably on a stage. And if I'm not on a stage, then I'm spending time with my son. So yeah, I'm Coco Lectric. I'm a burlesque performer.